Greetings and welcome to lecture number 17 on unit number 5, part 2, external flow. This session, we are going to discuss the flow over an airfoil section. Airfoil section, this is generally the section which is provided at the wings of aircraft. Because aircraft, the nominal speed of the aircraft is around 400 to 500 kilometer per hour. So frictional resistance, especially skin frictional resistance, or is considerable. So to minimize the drag, form drag, so the body is streamlined. So areofoil section gives the lowest drag forces, form drag forces. This shape is there. So we discussed just the introduction of to an areofoil. An airfoil or areofoil is a streamlined body which may be either symmetrical or asymmetrical, unsymmetrical, as shown in figure. Some of the definitions related with the airfoils are given below. So this is symmetric airfoil section, or this is asymmetric airfoil section. It is also called as unsymmetric. So as far as some definition of this, chord length. So chord line, this is called as a chord line. It is the line joining the leading edge and trailing edge of this is leading edge and this is the trailing edge. So leading edge and the trailing edges of the airfoil. The length of the line is known as a chord of airfoil. This is one definition. Second, profile center line. So it is the line joining the midpoints of the profile. So the profile, generally this term is applicable for unsymmetric as well, because unsymmetric, this is the profile, because this is a curved line. Chord line is a straight line. So in case of unsymmetrical areofoil section, profile center line and chord lines are separate. They are different. But as far as the symmetrical aerofoil section is concerned, the profile center line and chord lines are same. There is a line joining the midpoint of the profile. So midpoint of the profile. Here it is a midpoint and these are the midpoints. So maybe a curved line as well. Angle of attack. It is the angle between the chord line and direction of, because chord line is a straight line. It is the angle between the chord line and direction of fluid stream. So that is so angle of attack is a very important or parameter in case of areofoil section, because it decides the magnitude of lift. So this is the angle between the chord line and the direction of fluid stream. Then camber. Camber generally applicable, that is, it is the curvature of an areofoil section. So this curvature is called as a camber. This curvature of an areofoil section. Stall, an areofoil is said to be in stall condition when the angle of attack of an areofoil is greater than the angle of attack at maximum lift. So if the angle of attack, suppose for a particular angle, if the angle is 45 degree, we are getting maximum lift. And if the angle is greater than 45, then in that case, the stalling condition arises. At stall, the air separates from the areofoil or wing and eddies are formed, as a consequence of which there is a considerable increase in the drag coefficient. Because of the eddies, a large wake region is created here, and there is a considerable increase in the drag coefficient as well, or drag force as well. Aspect ratio, it is the ratio of span of wing to mean chord length, and that is called the span, which is given that the circumferential. So the length of the span as well as the length of the chord, that gives the aspect ratio. So when the fluids, when real fluids, the areofoil creates its own circulation or vortex field in order to experience the lift. And when a flying object, such as an aeroplane, uh, is in a steady state, then we have the weight of the aeroplane. Generally, lift force is equal to the weight of the aeroplane, and the thrust developed by the engine, that is equivalent to the drag force. So that means thrust is required. So engine power is generally obtained using with the help of drag forces. So these are some definitions related with the aerofoil section. As the scope of the syllabus is only introductory part of aerofoil section, it's analysis part and simple numerical based on the drag and lift. So take one numerical for better understanding. A wing of small aeroplane is rectangular in plane, having a span of 12 meters. So this is a span. So this position we can call as a span. So the span of 12 meter. Chord length. This is span. This is a span length, which is always greater than the chord. So the fluid is flowing in this direction. So this is a chord, we can say. Chord of 1.8 meters. So length multiplied by chord, that gives the surface area for the for calculating the frictional drag. In a horizontal flight at 200 km per hour, the total aerodynamic force acting on the wing is given, that is 28 kilonewton, that is aerodynamic force. If the lift to drag ratio is 10, determine the coefficient of lift, that is CD and CL. The total weight of the aeroplane that can carry, so that much FL we have to calculate, because FL is equivalent to the total weight. And the power required for the flight, so FD into velocity, that gives power. So once we know the FL and FD values, we can calculate remaining parameters. Take density of air as 1.2 kg per meter. So we know that that we have to calculate the coefficients. So we know the resultant component, resultant velocity, that is aerodynamic force is given, that is under root drag force plus lift force. So that is for horizontal flight. So drag plus lift, that is the total aerodynamic force, so that we can calculate. Now this force is given. So we can write FL in terms of FD, and putting all these values, only unknown in this equation is we can calculate FD first. And based on ratio, we can calculate, because it is 10 times, that is 27.86 kilonewton, that is FL. So once we know FD, we can calculate the CD, because FD is equal to CDA 1/2 rho U square. This is again a frictional drag, we can say. Majority is frictional drag. So because we are considering these things, that is length and power. So get the CD value, which is very low CD value we are getting, that is 0.078, 0.7. Then the total weight FL CL also we can calculate. So it's not required. So not required. So this ignore this particular step. So that is not asked. Total weight of the aeroplane, that is nothing but FL. So W is equal to FL, that is 28 kilonewton. And the power required, that is obtained with the help of FD, because as per the slide we have discussed, that is thrust developed by the engine is equal to drag forces. So drag force multiplied by velocity, that gives power, comes around 155.54 kilonewton. So this is a simple numerical. In most of the cases, based on the given information, you can easily calculate. How to calculate the area. Now here it is not a form drag, because form drag in aerofoil section is comparatively negligible. So major force is the stream friction drag. So that is, but this area is very small. So most of the cases, there is a confusion between that drag and lift. We have discussed this expression, because this drag force, there are two components of drag force: friction drag and pressure drag. So in aerofoil section, generally the dominant force is friction drag, not pressure drag. So that's why maybe that is the difference. Otherwise, the methodology remains same for calculation of the drag forces. With this, we have completed this session as well as topic as well. At the end of this particular session, you will be able to define airfoil or aerofoil section and its associated terminologies. There are various terminologies associated. So you will be able to differentiate between symmetric aerofoil section and asymmetric aerofoil section as well. Also, you will be able to calculate the performance parameters associated with aerofoil section as well. That's it from this session. Thank you very much.